Good morning, class. This time, let us discuss the terms related to circle. Okay, so what do you see on the figure? Yes, it is a circle. A circle is a set of points which are equidistant from a fixed point called the center of the circle. Point A is the center of the circle. And of course, the circle has different parts. Let's take one of the points on the circle and name it as point B. Connecting the center and the point, there's a line segment drawn. And this line segment is called the radius. Radius is a line segment whose endpoint is a point on the circle and the center of the circle. So segment AB is the radius of the circle. Let's take another point on the circle and call it point C. Extending the radius, another line segment was drawn, and this line segment is called the diameter. And a diameter is a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle and passes through the center of the circle. So therefore, that is the diameter of the circle. And the diameter is also known as the longest chord of the circle, and its length is twice the radius. So let's take another points on the circle and name them as point D and point E. So once we connected these 2 points, another line segment is formed, and this line segment is called a chord. And a chord is a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle. As you can see, that point E and point D are on the circle. So therefore, that point or segment DE is a chord of the circle. Extending that line segment, a line is formed. And this line is called a secant line. And a secant line is a line which intersects the circle at 2 points. And line DE is a secant of the circle. This time, the line is at the interior of the circle, or rather, is at the exterior of the circle, but this line intersects the circle at 1 point. So this line is known as the tangent line. A tangent line is a line which intersects the circle at exactly 1 point. As you can see, the line and the circle intersect at point E, and this is called point of tangency. So line EF is a tangent line, while point E is the point of tangency. Say there are 2 points on the circle, point B and point C. Connecting these points at the center of the circle. So there are 2 radii formed. And these 2 radii form a new figure which is known as the central angle. A central angle is formed by two radii whose vertex is the center of the circle. So angle CAB is a central angle. This time, there are two chords formed and a new figure is formed. And this figure is known as the inscribed angle. An inscribed angle is formed by two chords whose vertex is on the circle. So angle BEC is an inscribed angle. Another part of the circle are known as arc. So arc is a portion or any part of the circumference of the circle. So to name this arc, we use the symbol arc, then take the two endpoints B and C. So that is arc BC. There are different kinds of arcs. First is what we call the minor arc. A minor arc is an arc whose measure is less than 180 degrees. So arc BC is an example of a minor arc. Another we have, let's take this portion of the circle. So as you can see, it is larger than the minor arc. And this arc is called major arc. And a major arc is an arc whose measure is greater than 180 degrees. So, example of major arc, we have arc BEC. Since it's almost taken the whole, or it has taken almost the whole circle. So another part or another kind of arc is known as the semicircle, and a semicircle is an arc whose measure is exactly 180 degrees. And arc BE is an example of a semicircle. And a semicircle is also half of the circle. Okay, given the figure, let us identify the following terms related to circle O. Okay, a radius. So let us identify and name the radius of the given circle. Okay, one of them is segment OP. Yes, another, that is segment OI. And lastly, we have segment ON. What about the diameter of the circle? Yes, segment IN. What about the chord? So one of the chords is segment PN and segment IY. A semicircle is the arc IN. So whichever part of the circle will be taken, it is still the arc IN. So take the left side, it's arc IN. Take the right side, it is also the arc IN. So what about the minor arcs? So IP is one of the minor arcs. Give another one. PN is correct. NY. IY is also a minor arc. So for the major arc, let us use 3 points. So that is arc IPY, arc PNY is also an example of major arc. YIP is another major arc. And the central angles are the following. Angle POI, angle PON are the central angles of the given figure. Inscribed angles are the following. Angle PNI. So this is angle PNI. So this is the angle formed by these chords PN and NI. So the angle is angle PNI. Another we have YIN. So this is the angle. So these two are examples of inscribed angles. And tangent line is the line YS. And the point of tangency is at Y. And the second line, we have the line YI. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time. So before I go, always bear in mind, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing according to Walt Disney.